join up. I've got a mess on my desk. I apologize. I tried to prepare a few things today and spend some time outside with the dog, and things are just a crazy mess on my desk. So just kind of waiting for all my social media to catch up. Hope everyone, there we go. There's my phone anyway. Turn this way, get some of this stuff out of my way. All right. All right, so tonight we're going to make a Mother's Day card. I don't have anything specifically planned other than I have the garden lattice die here. I already pre-cut it out and it cuts beautifully. I just had a couple of bad spots because I have a bump in my cutting plate, and so where that bump was, it didn't cut out. And of course I cut a small piece of paper out, so it's not quite A2 size, so it did cut off the sides. It was a little small, but that's okay because I think I'm just going to use part of this. So I've got this cut out. It also comes with these. I just got this in the mail. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to use it tonight. And I do have some cardstocks pre-sprayed and done, but I thought maybe I'd do a few of those tonight. I just have some really basic white cardstock here. This is 100-pound like hammer mill cardstock. I thought it'd be fun just to, oh, I didn't do this, that's right. What I did was some ink smushing, and I got it a couple different ones, and I thought I'd do some of that and then show you what I've got and we'll use it. So I have some blue aqua pigments, some blue-green aqua pigments. It just shows a few different blues. And then I have periwinkle, which is a metallic. I need to shake it up a little bit to get that powder off on the bottom. And the shimmer part. And this is an older one, but I want to use it up, so I just grabbed it. And it's a lighter color. And I just got them down, and I'm going to go ahead and spray them a little bit to get them kind of moving. And I'm going to spray my paper. And I am actually going to spray both sides. This is very thin paper, but I thought it would work perfect. It dries up. And I'm just going to go ahead and squish it in like I normally do.
Horn.
Oh, it's right here. I'm sorry. One moment, please. There you go. And I'm going to pull it up and look at how pretty that is. So we're just kind of making some colors. I want the whole thing to be kind of colored. They kind of squish in, and I wink it blue. Thought maybe we'll cut it down. I will say you can get inky when you're doing this, so if you don't want inky fingers, wear gloves. And then I'm just going to go ahead and take another piece, and I'm going to just use up the rest. Kind of just moving it around. Sometimes if I don't cover a whole sheet, what I'll do is I'll use this for like die cuts or the starter of a background, but I don't want to waste any of my aqua pigments because I love using them. And then, so I've got that. And then let's wipe that up quick. And I have a little bit of water in this one. Spray off on my fingers, and I have isopropyl alcohol in the other, but it's a watercolor, so this works. So I just wipe my fingers off. So I did a couple of them last night so they would dry, and here is the first one I did with the aqua pigment. I originally thought maybe I would die cut this out, but I think I actually am going to make it my background. So I have this. But I think what I want to do is we're gonna play around with it. I'm not gonna use the whole thing. I'm gonna kind of cut it and make it kind of grungy, like I don't know what I'm gonna do quite with that yet. But what I want to do is we're making a Mother's Day card. I'm gonna go ahead and use the I Love You, a Bushel and a Peck. And I've already got it ready. It cuts out. Here's a little tip for that I use. This is the packaging it came in. I just snipped off the top, and then instead of opening that, and then I can just slip this right in and out. This is one I won't use magnets for because there's only 2 pieces. There's only 2 dies. We got the shadow and the wording. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the shadow out of, oh, I don't even know what color we want to do. I didn't even think about that far. I thought this is, maybe we'll use this one. This is one I did. This was the leftover from this one, and it's just a little bit lighter blue, so we'll use this one, and we'll cut this out. So I'm going to quick do that. Hi, Tina. How are you? I started with a little ink smushing, and I've got the lattice die cut out, and I'm going to quick go over and cut out the shadow layer for a bushel and a peck. I had that off camera, so I'm going to cut that off quick. All right. And so you can save this if you want, and I might, because I might use some of these for like a hearts or something, but I just put off to the side and decide later. Or you can throw it. It's just that. So here's the I love you, a bushel and a peck. And the extra A goes right here. This is for the A. So we've got that. So we've got some of this. And then we need to figure out what color we want to cut out this. I don't know if I want to use the white. I'm thinking what I might do is a really deep, we'll use this No Diving and ink blend a piece up. See what it looks like. Anyway. So I've got my No Diving ink. I've got my Ranger dauber with the domed piece, which is what I like when I want really thick, heavy background. And this is a water reactive ink, so maybe we'll spritz it with some stuff. Oh, Tina, isn't it? I saw that sneak peek email that came out today too. I mean, I've had a couple sneak peeks. I can tell you, I know which one is for my class, but that's all I can tell you. It was in the sneak peek. I'm super excited. I can't wait for it to get here and start creating. I didn't see everything that was in the sneak peek today. Today was the first time I saw all of that, but I saw a few things. I am super excited. I was just talking to, I called into the office today or the store today and talked to Jess, and she was talking about hotel rooms, and I was like, yeah, I got to book my airline tickets. Come on up here. I'm super, super excited. So I put it on my calendar, my work calendar, where I work at a real estate firm, and so where we keep all of our closings, I put on the calendar, Candi in Pennsylvania. So you have to forgive me. I need to get a paper towel. My nose is allergies. So Tina, are you coming or are you virtual? What are you doing for CYOE? Okay, so we've got this. I think I'm going to go ahead and just spritz it with some water. Oh, I'm just using plain old water to spritz in a little bit on top. I didn't let it sit long, but I just want a little texture. I keep taking the lid off this, you guys. It's been that kind of a week for me. Busy day. Armchair vacay virtual. That is perfect. I am excited and a little nervous because, you know, I've actually not taught in person before necessarily. I've done a little bit of online, obviously, with the virtuals, but I'm excited. It'll be fine. I mean, I can't wait. So, and I got to see the schedule, so I know when my class is, so that's exciting. So I have this Thermoweb spray that, it's called Glitter Dust, and I've got the silver. I'm going to go ahead and spray that off camera quick. It's just a little bit of a glittery spray. I want to add just a little bit of sparkle. So I have taken virtual for the last 3 years, Tina. So this is my first in person. I was supposed to go in 2020, but it ended up being that I couldn't make it. So this is a little wet, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it out anyway. And so we're going to cut out the wording, a bushel and a peck, and then we'll see what we got from there. Oh, so hold on one second. I got a bunch of stuff on here on my cutting plate. So I have a couple of friends that are going to take it virtually from home here, as they can't get in person, so they're going to take it from home. So I'm excited for them too. Okay. Did you see the other sneak peek today, Tina, that was out there? That's something that's coming. All right, so we've got all the wordings here. I'm just going to leave those that are in there the way they are. Gotta pick up. There was a sneak peek on the, I don't know if it was on the Brutus Monroe page or the fan club page. I can't remember. Something coming out next month. I'm super excited. I'm going to play with mine this weekend so I can start getting ready for it. All right, so we've got this. We've got the wording. So I'm going to go ahead and get some glue here. And we're going to go ahead and start gluing these in. Oh, you'll have to look. I'm not sure, Tina. I can't remember which group it was in. If we get done a little early, I'll see if I can find it. There was something, I think there were some embossing powders that were shown that are coming next month, which was exciting to see. I hadn't seen those yet, so I was really excited to see those. Because obviously, you know, we do see some of the stuff in advance because we prepare samples. All right. Sometimes I have my samples and I mail them in right away. If I'm mailing something in, so I don't always have mine, but I have a few of my safari samples here I can show you guys later tonight. So this will probably be the longest process here. I do not have there is a layering guide that you can buy that's that can help you put this together. I don't have it right now. I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball this because that works for me. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love this song. I used to sing this song all the time. And I've sung it for a long time, and I just thought this was so fun. When this came out, I was excited to get it. It works perfectly with the bushel basket, which I thought about using tonight, but I thought maybe instead we would use this lattice work because I hadn't had a chance to do that. So some of my things fell off, so I'm just kind of looking to see where they go. This is the L for the bushel. If I had thought about it, I would have stick them on the back beforehand, and then I wouldn't have to do this like this. All right. This is the for the I love you, And the one reason I want to make sure I put them in the right order is because the coloring is the same then, especially if I was going to do like an ombre effect. All right, where's the other I love you. Oh, this is the one that goes. This is the one that goes with the and, the A for the I don't know where I put the shadow right now. I don't know if I'm going to use the blue heart. I'm just going to put that off to the side for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and push these out. P-E-H-E. It's hump day, so I hope everyone's having a great week so far. So we have, it's 70s. I was thinking that, yes, I did see that there was a post that they were different, and that was, I looked at it afterwards. That was like awesome. That's so great. And that was, but I think that was for in particular the sunshine. I think too. Oh no, maybe it's for both. Because this is a U for the U. I love you a bushel and a peck. So whenever you guys, if you see this, do you guys sing the song? I can't not. I can't just say I love you a bushel and a peck, and the hug around the neck. Sorry, you were entitled to my singing there, you guys. That was horrible. Okay. I got the You Are My Sunshine too, which I love because I used to sing that to my firstborn in particular. She was a little, not colicky, but she was jaundice when she was born. So I used to sing that to her in the middle of the night. I know I sang it to my son too, but I can distinctly remember singing it to my daughter in particular when she was first born. But I know I sang it to both of them, but I just have that one vivid memory because, you know, it was a new mom, of course. So I am liking how this is going. I love you a bushel and a peck. All right, I'm thinking we need to have a different color. We got to have a different heart. I don't know if I want to do red though. I'm thinking, oh, that's not the right one. Oops. This is the U, the Y for this one's for the U. I can see because I'm looking up there. So we've got the U. And then we've got the, yeah, I think it was in the Sunshine in particular has the S's and the N's so you can tell which one goes where. Because this one just has the U's. I suppose if you were cutting both out, and you had them both sitting on your desk. And of course I got that. All right, so now I'm gonna flip this over and grab a pokey tool here. We're gonna go ahead and poke out the rest. And Mom, if you're watching, I can't promise this is your card, even though it's blue. I know blue's your favorite color, but we'll see. You'll be surprised when you get it in the mail if you're watching. And it's yours. If it's not, you know, because I might have another card up my sleeve hiding in the other part of my room. Okay. Oh, here's that. Dogs are all out in force tonight. Neighbor dogs. So, of course, when my neighbor dogs go a little crazy, that makes, my dog doesn't bark a ton, but he goes crazy when the neighbor dogs go crazy. And usually we just bring him inside. But, and he's probably also barking because Mommy's inside and he's outside with Daddy. But I took him to get his nails clipped today because he was getting pretty sharp there and it was hurting. So that was good. But it was so nice today here when I got home from lunch. After I ate lunch, of course, because he's not going to not be anywhere near the kitchen and when there's food. Even when I don't feed him. And I make him not, I'm like, you can't have this. It's not for puppies. He went outside and I could not get him to budge to come back in when I had to leave to go back to work. I had to bribe him with treats. And I was like, I don't blame you. It's like, I wish I could take you back with me to work, but if he sees people walking on the sidewalk, and I work on on the highway, so sometimes there's people walking around, he gets barky. So, and a couple offices we lease to that are in the building, they need to have quiet. So I was just like, you're gonna have to stay home today, even though I was kind of the only one in the office for a while, for most of the afternoon, but, which is fine. All right, so I don't know if anyone has Mother's Day plans. I don't right now. I'm probably gonna craft. That's like what I do most weekends, which isn't anything, but that's what I like to do. And of course I'll call my mom. So I don't know, we'll see if any of the kids show up. We got 3 that are close here. Tom's 2 and my son live in town. And if they come over, that's fine. If they don't, they might just, otherwise they might just call or text. You'll be crafting too, Tina. Yep, that's what I do on the weekends. That's what I like to do. And I like to try to get ahead. I have a bunch of stuff. I have a couple graduation cards I need to make now, which is the, speaking of, is the challenge for the month. So make sure you, if you make a challenge card, share that uses at least one Brutus Monroe product, share it in the Brutus Monroe fan club group with the hashtag CYOE challenge. That's so I can easily find it. And it can be, it doesn't have to be a card, it can be any kind of project, scrapbook layout, you know, a mixed media. Maybe you got a gift for someone you're making, or a shadow box, or an album, a mini album. It just has to have one Brutus Monroe product for sure. Okay, my A is still stuck in here. So it was, I heard we're supposed to get a bunch of rain Friday night, which I'm okay with, because I'll be inside. And the river went down. I mean, I live on the Mississippi River, and we, you know, we were at flood stage for quite a while, but now it's gone down, so we shouldn't be in too much danger again. So, all right, so I've got I Love You, A Bushel and a Peck. We've got our background. We've got some lattice work. Thinking we're gonna go this way. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna do this lattice work all the way. I may not even use this background. I may use a different one yet. And then I need to do something with the heart. I don't think I want to use this heart. I think I want to do, I don't know if I want to do a white heart. Let's see what kind of glitter paper I have. Actually, I have some old, let's see, what do I got here? Going through my little scraps. We got some silver. Maybe we'll do some silver. I don't want to use a big piece of silver. Let's use some of this silver glitter paper, because I used a little bit of the sparkle. So I just saved all of my scraps. I'm going to go ahead and cut a really small piece of this, because I'm only going to need to cut out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hold this kind of right here, kind of right there, and I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to cut out that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it on here, and I'm going to tape it to the die so it don't move, and I'm going to run that through. I'll be right back. I got stuck in my fingers. All right, so we've got to pull that off. We've got a couple pieces here. Got our little heart. Let's pull off our, pull that out. And pull that tape off of there, off the back, the purple tape off the back. I'm gonna get that. I left a little sticky on there too. I save all of my specialty papers, almost all the way down to the little itty bitty, because I have these one die that has teeny tiny hearts and stars, and I always figure that I can always use them for that. All right, so we've got that. Oops, moving around. Sorry if I'm off camera. Just sticking on my heart. I like it. So we got I Love You, A Bushel and a Peck. I'm thinking this was, it doesn't stand out enough, so let's check one of these other backgrounds. This is another one that I made, and I think this, I don't know if I want to use that. Why don't we grab some pattern paper? Let's see what I got here. The bushel and a peck will go perfect with a picnic basket. If you wanted to do something with that too. Oh, let's see. I got the sophisticated spring paper pad here. We'll grab, let's see, is there some blue and something here? I might have used it up because obviously I've been using. Let's grab, there was one with pink and blue, I think. That light pink, I might use that one. Yeah, let's use that. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my trimmer to cut this down. Let's get my pen in here so it's not drying out my glue. Let's get my trimmer. We're gonna cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. It's just shy of an 1/8 card base. Those pieces off to the side. Hello, Michelle. How are you? All right, so I've got that, the sophisticated spring. We've got this. So like I said, I don't want to use this whole thing. I think I'm just going to go, this is where we're going to go a little crazy. So we're going to have to use some glue, but I just cut off a piece and I am, well, that's good. We're just going to go ahead and kind of cut. I'm just cutting down like around that edge, and then we're going to cut up a little ways. I'm just going to use a piece of this just for some texture behind, and I'm just trying to cut it right along the same lines. We'll go all the way up. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I was excited to use this die, so. All right, so we've got that. I think that's still way too much. So I'm gonna just, like I said, we're just winging it. We're just kind of going for it. I'm not specifically cutting down. I just wanted a piece here or there, so I might even cut a little jaggedness, cut it off here. You know, you gotta think about using your dies in a different way. So thinking maybe we'll use that piece like that. We'll put this down here like this. I don't know, maybe we will use, I don't know if I like that piece. I think I like the openness of that. Yep, and we're gonna cut a little bit. Got to cut those little lines off right here. So I'm gonna have to do a bunch of gluing on this, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Actually, we'll just chop it off right there. So just want a kind of a jagged piece. Got this. And let's get going. So it's going to take a few minutes to glue this down, but I'm not going to go super, the biggest key is around the edges, so at each of the tips, on the edges, and then you can kind of dot in between so that it stays. And then I'm just going to dot a few pieces here and there, so that it stays down. I'm not gonna go crazy. All right, we're gonna get that glued down, and then we'll go ahead and put something on it. So I think I had it like this. And we're doing that to tie in the white of what the card base would be. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Misty, throw that down on top. So these pieces we're just going to toss. This one we could save for another card. And while we're waiting for this to dry, we'll go ahead and throw in this and this. All right. Well, we're waiting for that to dry, Tina. You wanted me to see if I could find what I was talking about. It wasn't my sneak peek, so I'll see where if I saw where it was posted. Christopher made a post earlier today. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. We'll go to our notifications. Ta-da. Oh, he posted on his own. Okay, you ready? Well, here we go. Something exciting's coming to Brutus Monroe next month. Isn't that exciting? And then there was another little sneak in the comments. Whoop! Sorry. Let's see if I can get on camera. There we go. There we go. So there's the little sneak from Christopher earlier today. So I am super excited. That's coming next month. So you'll have to wait, look out for that. All right, that's dry. Tina, just wait. It's gonna be so fun. All right, so here's where you have the choice of going. You could go like this and make it long. Michelle, I'm excited. But I think we're gonna go horizontal. So I'm gonna go ahead and, or portrait size, I guess. Is that horizontal? Yeah, it's horizontal. It's been warmer, so the dog has been sleeping all of a sudden downstairs the last 3 nights. And the first night kind of freaked me out because he didn't come to bed. I always go to bed the first. And when my honey came to bed, he wasn't with him. And I'm like, well, where's the dog? So I went downstairs to check on him. And he was just laying in the living room, in the dining room. And I was like, okay. And I went over and, you know, scratched his ears, making sure he was all good. He was. So I figured it's cooler downstairs. I have an older house. And we do have central air. We don't have the air on yet. But we have 2 fans that go. But I think it's warmer. I mean, you can notice a difference. When you go upstairs, it feels warm. But it's comfortable once you're up there. And when you come downstairs, it's cooler. Anyway, so last night, he comes up. His way of waking me up in the middle of the night is to shake his head really, really hard. And he'll shake his head, and then he stops and shakes his head, and then stops and shakes his head. And he'll keep doing it until I look at him. And that's his, I gotta go to the bathroom, Mom. Wake him up. He won't bark. He doesn't whine. He'll do that when we're awake, but he doesn't do it at night. So I got up and went with him and took him outside, and I knew he wasn't really gonna go. So I walked outside and stood on the deck, and it was pleasant out. He went down and kind of wandered around. I don't think he went to the bathroom. I think he was pulling my leg, and then he laid down on the deck. So I've been up since 4. All right, so we've got this. I love you, a bushel and a peck. I think I have 1 card base up here. I'm gonna go ahead. This is gonna be a fairly simple card. And then we've got some time. We can maybe play with something else. If there's something you guys would like to see, I've got the, you know, I know they're bigger, but I do have the grill and the picnic die. I've got the Wild Lines stamp. So we've got that. I love you, a bushel and a peck. Let's grab some of the jewel mix. Or we can play with anything. I got some stencils. I'll go ahead and grab some silver. And we're just gonna kind of put some of these around. I think I'll put 1 here. And I'll put 1 here. And I'll put 1 there. And we'll put 1 here, and here, and here. Let's see, how many is that? And we're gonna go ahead and grab this. And I'm just grabbing a bunch of the silver. These are the Button Galore. This is the neutrals. Christopher uses these. That's how I found them, you know, is when he was using them once, and I bought them, and I have the brights, and I use them all the time, and they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 1 more. Let's put another one right here. 7, 8, and 9 right there. They last a long time. I can't figure out where my dots of glue are now. One there. There's one more glue dot somewhere. Yes, I love these jewels. Oh, there it is. All right. So, hi, Shannon. How are you? I'm just kind of finishing up my first kind of basic card. Not basic, but simpler card. We did some aqua pigment smushing, and she's never used a stencil or card panels. I'll be sending her Happy Minerals so she can play. You know, stencils are my jam. It's funny, I never had a lot of stencils. I had stamps, I had some dies. I was very frugal with what I spent my money on. And then I started kind of, you know, stencils started coming back in. And I'd go to my, this is actually before, oh, a while ago. So before I went to Junkie Fest, which is where I met Christopher and learned about Brutus Monroe the first time, I was like, man, I should buy some stencils because they're a product you can use over and over again. And I really didn't. And the two things I bought from Brutus Monroe first was the foundation, or the Circle Simple Blends and the Marshmallow Embossing Powder. And never looked back. You would love to learn how to use the Shimmer Mist. Okay, the Shimmer Mist is a spray. Here, I've got some right here. This one is brand new, so let me see if I can find my other one. And I'm not sure where my other one is. So this is the Pearl, and it is, so you can see down here, see how it's separated because I haven't used this yet. Thank you, Shannon. I just kind of played around with some plain, and I took the lattice die and cut it down for some dimension, and then we threw it on some of the simple sophisticated spring back pen. But you can see where it's kind of separated here because this is the shimmer. I'm not sure the technical, if it's the mic, if it's called mic or whatever, but it's, so you do need to kind of shake it. I personally love this die too. I love to do it this way. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's a great sale going on right now with a bunch of the basics, you know, some of the embossing powders. I love the A2 card bases, some of the glitter gel. There's a lot. If you go on the home page there, you can click on that and see some of the things on the sale. I've got a few things kind of ready. So I like to go back and forth with it to mix it up. Instead of shake it, that's just my way of doing things. So I just kind of go back and forth like this. And I'm going to go ahead. This one is the one I made last night. This was the aqua pigments that I just smushed. So I'll show you what this looks like with it sprayed. Spraying is how I use it the most. And I'm just gonna, I don't know if I can get my camera up higher. You know what? Maybe we'll just make a mess. Let me put this down on here so it's kind of covers. And I like to just spray it. This is how I like. So I like to just spray it. To me, it just makes a beautiful background like that. So this is, so you can see that now. Now, once it dries, it'll be even sparklier. But another way that I like to use the Shimmer Mist is this way. Let me grab some aqua pigment paper because we're gonna do. So I have some aqua pigment paper here. And what I like to do with the Shimmer Mist is take, like here, it's kind of like my Pearl Aqua Pigment. I like to put a little bit, and I like to put a little bit. And you can do it two ways. We'll do it two ways. Here's the first way with ink smushing. And it adds the sparkle and the shine to it. I don't know if you can see that well. Instead of just being plain blue, which I suppose I could show you here. Yes, it's really fun, and it's really good for like a galaxy background if you wanted to make a big galaxy background. Stars. You can also just, so here's, you can kind of see that, you can see the blue, but also, where's my, I'm just taking, this is just a brand, I'm just going to mix it together. If you want sparkle, but you don't have the right color ink, whether it's a re-inker or if it's aqua pigments, add a little bit of the shimmer mist, and it will give your the shimmer to your color. Because we have a few aqua pigments that have shimmer in them. We have a couple chroma mists that have shimmer in them. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and mix it together. It lightens it up. And so here you can also, you know, splatter it. It's a great splatter. First, let's see if I'll find a piece of dark paper. And so then it makes a shimmery aqua pigment, which is so fun. I'm gonna just go ahead and use it all up. I like to do this because I like to get the streaks. That's what I think is fun about smushing. It's getting all the streaks. All right, we're gonna put that off to the side for a minute. Let me get this wiped up. And then I'm actually gonna wipe this off quick because I'm gonna do that. We will splatter it a little bit. Let me grab a dark piece of paper. Sorry, I'm just looking for some black paper here. All right, so I have some Raven cardstock here that I've had. Let's see what I got cut up already. Do I have a background? Here. So I've got a couple pieces right here. This one, I'll go ahead and spray it. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime, anytime. If I'm ever live and I'm doing something, if I've got it, I'll show you how I use it. Because that's how we learn, right? So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just kind of, like I said, going back and forth. I'll go ahead and just spritz it. I also like sometimes to wipe off when I have things with the shimmer in it to make sure it doesn't clog on anything. But then look at how that background looks. So this is like, I was heavy spraying with that. I mean, that's a heavy spray, but it kind of gives it, on black, it's kind of a silver look, which is cool. It's like a metallic. And you could go ahead and like pick this up. I'm just going to wipe it up today. And then this one I am going to use my botanist for. So we'll do it. And I just got a small piece in here. You do not have to put a paper towel underneath, but I do sometimes because it just helps and it's ready for the next time. So I'm going to take a little bit of this. You can use it full strength, but you can take this out and you can just tap it. And it will give you that Starry Night background and it'll be very shimmery. Or what I found is that you can, I just have some sprayed on this. This is just some water. Spray a little bit in there. I'm gonna find a different paintbrush. Give me a second here. It depends on the size of the paintbrush and your splatters. So I've got this, and you can tap. You can tap it off. You have to kind of experiment when you tap because the different types of tapping can give you different results. So you can tap, some people like to tap with something else. And I just usually use my finger unless I'm trying to get really fine shimmer. And then I do that. And it cleans up with just some water. And then let me get my box out of the way here. And then you got this beautiful Starry Night sky, which is an awesome way to use it. On any color, it just makes a great background. And then one last way that and this is going to be totally random. I have no idea what I have here available. I'm going over to my bin of pre-stamped images. Let's see. So this is an older, I don't know if these are still available. This was a summer release, I think 2 summers ago. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. What I like to do is I take this, I'm going to spray it here. I'm going to very much dilute it. and I will show you why. And I mix it with the paint water really, really well. And I don't know if I can zoom in. I'm gonna try. You have to forgive me a second here. I gotta wait for my camera to catch up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paint my image. Sorry if I got really quiet there. I'm concentrating. And I will show you the difference. This will add, it's almost like using a shimmer pen. Because you watered it down, you can see the color behind it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm off camera. And then you can see that shimmer. If you don't water it down when you do that, thank you, Lori. It does, it's great for a starry night. If you don't necessarily water it down, if you use it full, I will show you what it will look like. I'm just gonna do a little bit and then I'll water it down so you can see. So there you can see, I gotta stand up so I can see. So you can kind of see it there, and then compared to this one. Now let's zoom out a little bit, sorry. So you can see it, but you can see a lot of the color. Where this one, do you see how the white? So when I use it instead of like a shimmer pen, I like to water it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the water and water it down. And I do this a lot for my images. Yeah, Tina, this is, and I use this with both the shimmer mist and the pearl aqua pigment. It just kind of, I mean, I paint with both. It just kind of depends. You can also just tap off a little bit. I have 2 bottles for sure of shimmer mist, and I think I have 3 bottles aqua pearl, because I add I had pearl before. That was the pearl aqua pigment before we had the shimmer mist. But then that gives that little bit of extra shine, you know. Or you can just add a little bit of shimmer here and there, like, okay, let's grab, okay, I know this is a male frog, but instead of doing the whole thing, let's give him some shimmery pants. So I will just grab, I'll make sure I'm on camera here, and do just a little bit on his yellow. And I did overhang just a little bit. And then I can paint just a little bit and just give a little bit of shimmer. So like for my Christmas cards in particular, I like to do that with just a little bit of the shimmer on that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll paint this one more. You can do, and the more water you add, the more diluted it's gonna be, and the more shimmer it's gonna be. Shimmer, you know, more shimmery and less white, which is really nice. And like I said, you can do this, add this to any aqua pigment. And then we've got that. So we're gonna let those dry, and maybe we'll make a quick card with those flowers. Matter of fact, we'll use our starry little background that we used with it. Let's grab, let's see, what do I got here? Okay. I'm just gonna grab, I'm gonna make a mini slim card quick. My mini slims, I do 6 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'll have to cut this down. I know I've got water pigment there, so I'm gonna be very careful. 6 1/4. Mini slim is my favorite. So we got that. We'll put this on here. Yep, I think I'm gonna do it that way. I'm gonna go ahead and just add this whole thing, and we'll cut it down. This is my favorite thing about lives, is that, you know, I would one of these, I need to organize enough where I can like put like a poll together and say, what do you want me to use? And then I have to just use it. Or if I can get enough people at the same time that are live with me, ask me to use something, and I would do it, because I think that would be fun. Like not kind of a challenge, but kind of a challenge. All right, so we've got that done, and I don't even know if this was a straight piece. I just used it. Go ahead and use my big scissors here, cut them off. I'll put this on a card base later. So So by adding that little bit of, and it wasn't quite wet, so I've got that streak, or dry there, so that's why I got that streak, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe a little bit of this up before we make a mess here. This is another one where you could grab another piece of this and throw this on here, which I think maybe we'll do. But I'm gonna cut off a little bit more of this edge because it's bumpy. We'll use this right up too. And we'll do it. We'll do it from the top. That'll help kind of cover up that that smudge. We'll add some flowers to it, and like I said, another thing you can do with the ink and dyes is put a little glue on your table and just run your dye through it on the edges like this. And should have enough glue on there that will hold it down. So go ahead and put it, I'm going to line it up right with the edge of the top of my card base. Excuse my head. I hope, sorry, I'm off camera here. And the side of my black piece there. Go ahead and lay that down. And while those flowers are still drying a little bit, we need to get a sentiment. So I'm going to go over to my stash. And it's here. Just a second. Sorry. This is from last year's Create Your Own Ending event, and I'm going to go ahead and use Your Love You Mom. And I will grab that out. And I think what we're going to do is, actually we're going to go for it. We're going to do it right on the card base. Ooh, craziness. Craziness. So, because I splattered, it should be fairly dry. Am I zoomed out enough? There we go. I'm going to go ahead and we'll put it up this way so you can see. Grab some of my... And we'll use some alabaster sparkle. Yes, exactly. That's it, Michelle, you read my mind. I thought, well, we're going to put the flowers right on it. So that's why, because that's what it's from. And it's got these other, this is the die, Michelle. And then here's some of the matching dies so that came with it. So you can do, you know, there's the vines and there's different flowers and different leaves, but I'm going to use these on this tonight. All right, so we need to, this is not my, black and me do not like each other with embossing, but we'll get it. When I emboss, when I use white embossing powder, maybe, if I can find it, I usually use, there it is, my alabaster. It is my favorite for white because I think it gives it just a little bit more. I learned the trick from, I don't know, some other YouTuber out there. Don't know who, sorry. But for me, it looks like a little bit more white if I use the alabaster versus whenever I use white embossing powder. So we got Love You Mom. I have never even used the stamp yet. I've used the stamp set. I just never used that stamp. Just wipe that off. I'll clean it up better later. We'll grab the Alabaster Sparkle, which has got a little bit of sparkle in it. Yep, the trellis die is a very nice one. I just got it in last weekend, I think. I didn't have it, and this is the first time I've had a chance to use it. I was gone most of first Saturday, so I didn't do a lot of crafting. I'm usually home on the weekends. So I kind of put it away and got it ready in my storage system, And then tonight I was like, let's use that. All right, we got a heat emboss, so I gotta grab my heat gun. And I'm just heating it up on my hand until it's hot. And then I'm gonna go quick. Oh yeah, the rooted dye is a good one to have too. There we go, we got Love You Mom. .9% of everything I use is actually from Brutus Monroe, so I love everything. And then I throw in a sentiment here or there, or maybe a picture when I'm using making a card or another image of something that I might already had, but there's just such great things. All right, so I'm just letting it dry for a minute because it's hot. And then we got to wipe off the extra embossing powder. And we got that. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our flowers. We got 2 little flowers here. And we've got this flower. I think we're going to do it just like that. Maybe we'll pop that one up. They're still a little bit damp, but I think it'll work. I'm not going to worry too much about the sides because it's going to do some kind of fluffing. I'm just going to put some of the glue down in the middle. And just kind of fluffing up the middle, giving it a little bit of dimension. And then I think we'll go ahead and grab, looking for some, got just a few of the Easy Tab foam left. But these are black, so they'll tie in with the background good. I'll put 2 of those on there. Ooh, my tab is underneath. Easy Tab is great, except when your tab gets stuck to the sticky part underneath. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. So, you know, if you're making cards, you know, and you have extra pieces, stick them in a little, I just have little pieces here and there. I mean, you can see some of the old, you know, these are from last year's May. You know, the beach pond. This is the Froggy release. We just had the summer release. I've got lots of images here that I have just put away that I can use for something else. If I need a quick card or I just need something, I'm like, what do I have that's already done? You know, if I'm making something like the sun, I cut those out because I made a bunch of backgrounds with some for a project, and I cut a bunch out and I peeled my Easy Tab up. There we go. And I think we're just gonna put, yeah, we're gonna put it down here. Pop it up. There we go. So I think we're gonna add just a little bit more bling to this. Let's grab a few more of those jewel embossing jewelets. And I think this time we're gonna use, I'm gonna use a couple of the white ones. Maybe. Let's see what other colors we got here. Yep, we're gonna use a couple of white ones. We'll throw a couple of these in. We'll put one there. My on camera here screws up a little bit. Put one over here and one up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't like that. Let's wipe that off. 4, 5, and maybe we'll do 6 and 7. I don't try to think too much about when I put in my gems. I try to just do it. Thank you, Shannon. Thanks for joining us. Go have fun being a taxi. Be safe. Drive safe. I will talk to you soon. Next week, I'm actually going to go live with Shannon on Thursday. We're going to go live. That'll be fun. I hope that's nothing cat out of the bag for any reason, but put a white one there. Put this one there. And I can't get it to flip over. This one's stuck two together. Okay. Grab a couple more. Oh, there's a couple big ones. We didn't use any big ones, did we? Put that one there. And I'm thinking we might need one down here actually, or two down here, just to, because we gotta have, yeah, an odd number, right? Put a big one, and let's see if we can get a little one. Let's see if we can get a little one. Okay, there we go. So I hope that showed you a couple different ways you could use shimmer mist. I definitely think it's something everyone should have in their stash because there are lots of uses for it. You could, like I said, I love adding it to, you could add it to a re-inker, make your re-inker. So like, I love the Simon Hurley ink, so I could make the Simon Hurley inks shimmery. You can add them to watercolors. You can use it by itself. You can paint it over the images. You know, it's super fun. One thing I haven't tried is getting it really wet and stamping with it. That might be something I should try. I might try that this weekend. And you know, like get something really wet and then stamp down with it, and it just washes up. So I've got two little cards here for Mother's Day. This one we have to put on a card base, but I will do that afterwards. And I hope you enjoyed tonight, and have a great Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to check out the sale. Sign up for Create Your Own Ending, because I think the sign-ups are ending almost very soon. And also don't forget to do the challenge on the CYOE challenge graduation card and the Brutus Monroe fan club page. So have a great evening, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.